came prepared today. I took the time. I'm prepared today.
Hey, today I got nothing, so I'm glad.
That's good. You suck. No.
What kind of a team here?
I don't think this is going to be a real long game.
No, it might be running time before the end of it.
How you like the score clock?
Looks great.
I got to figure out.
You're the Boomers, not the Bombers.
We already corrected that. Hey, make sure he puts a B in on that Bombers, because it's not showing up here that it's. We did correct that.
Okay. Are we live right now or no?
Welcome into the rail yard here at Proctor High School for Game 2 of tonight's doubleheader with our Rails versus the Bombers of Barnum High School. You got to enunciate on that, right, Coach?
Absolutely.
Game 1 saw the Rails fall to Moose Lake Little River Bombers. They came in and they played a great game, got us in foul trouble early, and did that. But now we got Game 2. We got this one to go for. You got myself to keep it along with. What's your name again?
Todd Martin.
Todd Martin. I knew that too. I've got so many names going through my head. We want to welcome you in. First, before we get started here with senior night, want to make sure that we thank our student workers. We got Ian Shovchek on our machine. We got Eli Wobble. We got Kyle Haugen, Tanner Luzovich, Jacob Smith, Dane Johnson, Carly Glass. My name is Ted Keevan along with Todd Marnich. We also want to thank our sponsors quickly. Hopefully before we want to get going on the senior night, the Reed Foundation, the Rails Endowment for Academics, Arts and Athletics Development, and we're going to turn it down to our in-house PA, Mr. Beal. Will be back, and we'll touch base with our sponsors at that time.
Tonight is senior night, and we honor a wonderful member of our team. Here's Coach Matt Silver. We'd like to recognize Savannah Rubin, our lone senior. Savannah is a great player, always brings a lunch pail every day to work, helping make her teammates better. And more than that, she's a better teammate and a better person. So thank you, Savannah, for all your dedication.
Jacob, ask them where they're at. We're missing our cameraman. We're missing our camera guys. Try to talk to them on there, see if they have their headset.
Since this is game 2 of a doubleheader national anthem was performed earlier, we do want to remind you though that root beer floats continue to be for sale right outside the entry doors of our gym. The proceeds go to the all-night grad party. Let's meet the starters for tonight's game. First for the visiting Barnum Bombers. A 5'5" junior, number 15, Kendall Militich. A 6'2" sophomore, number 20, Jordan Marine. A 5'6" senior, number 35, Mallory Agurkis. A 5'6" junior, number 5, Mackenzie Schlorette. And a 5'7" freshman, number 13, Reese Militich. Now starting the lineup for your Proctor Rail. A 5'8" senior, number 42, Savannah. A 5'8" junior, number 15, Morgan Marley.
right, back here at the Rail Yard, Tech Keep It along with Todd Marnich. Before we get going on everything, Coach, I just want to say thank you to you for all the time that you've spent with us with the broadcast this year. And you know, I know that you enjoy the heck out of it, and that you're happy to be part of it. But at the same time and same token, we want to make sure that you understand that we appreciate the time that you've taken out to be here, be part of this, and help us to further our broadcast stuff with our students and stuff. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
Anytime, anytime. So let's before we get into this and our sponsors, let's just take a shot here. Last game, final game, wrapping up the season. Yep. We're Lake Superior Conference champions, so we don't no worries there. Nope. And now we can just go out and play a game, put this one in the books, and get ready for next Thursday.
Yep, we should be deep in the bench by the end of this game.
By the end of the game, or by the end of the half?
Well, early second half, I would anticipate.
All right, I can feel you on that. I can feel you on that. So now Prendo for three. Can't get it. Fall goes off right side, but Frey's there for the board into Littman. It's Littman?
Yep.
All right. Littman. And over the left side, that was the hammer. Couldn't get it to go, but gets her own board, but it gets knocked out of her hand. Thought for sure there'd be a jump ball there, but it was not. Number 13, Middlich with the board. So now the Bombers, that's Middlich, and she's going to kick it out of bounds. It'll be Rails ball.
Yes, Jordan Marine had the big block early in that possession there. Just a sophomore, 6'2" sophomore. So
nothing wrong with that, huh?
She has a lot of games ahead of her.
We could use a couple of that here.
Right.
So let's just talk a little bit about it. Coming into this game, we got the QRF of a 151.3, ranked 8th in the state. Going to be in that subsection 2 for the 7AA. You know, right behind them, you know, I hate to say right behind them, but you got Mesabi East ranked 29th at a 116.7, and then right behind them at 35th is Duluth Marshall at a 111.4. So really nothing to mess with this game, and just more of a tune-up game, work on some things, and get ready for next week.
Yeah, nothing will change after this game. We'll hold the high seed in subsection 2, and the teams you just mentioned, we won't see any of them until we cross over, and it'd be the section finals before we'd see them. Right now, as it stands, and nothing should change much, but we'll have Greenway in the first round, and we should see I Falls in the second round before we cross over into subsection 1.
And that'll be next Thursday right here at home.
Correct. And unfortunately, I didn't block my schedule out, and I got to go up to Cotton to ref a JV LCA game versus
watch those courts.
McGregor.
I heard that you were sick.
Right. Yeah, Barnum comes into this game with a 10-14 record. They're QRF. They're ranked 87th. Yep, 67.3, ranked 87th in the state. So they're a pretty young team, and Barnum has a long history of good basketball teams. So I would expect this group to get better as they go forward and be competitors in the near future.
Barnum, after the night, does still have one game on their schedule against Hinkley Finlandson on Thursday to round out their schedule. Stronger on the road than they are at home, though, Coach.
That happens. Proctor's in full court press here, looking to get a turnover, and looks like we were just short of it there. Liz trying to jump that pass and just came up short. Good effort, though.
So now the Rails are up 2-0. Clock is actually 15:55. Sorry, our clock. There, we got it right now. Matching what we got going on. Big shot taken, and Pogachnik will come down with the board and drive it back into the offensive zone. Pushes in the corner to Nyland. Nyland for three. Boom! And she hits it.
You don't want to leave her alone in that corner by herself.
I absolutely agree with you 100% on that one, Coach. We've got a nice job by Pogachnik to get in the way. Looked like she was at the net with a volleyball. Both hands up and ready to go.
Timeout, Barnum.
Early timeout taken by Barnum. Coach, let's just talk a little bit, go back to our sponsors just for a minute. So we make sure we get those folks in. Want to make sure, we'll just start at the top. And the READ program, the Rails Endowment for Academics, Arts, and Athletic Development. We've got the Irving Community Club Bowling for Kids. Tamarack Building Supplies up on Highway 53. Heritage Window Door over in Superior. over in Superior, we got Hearing Associates up at the mall. Sammy's Pizza West Loop. Coach, right now, if you call and mention this game, Sammy's Pizza will give you $2 off a family-sized pizza.
That's a great deal. Sammy's has great pizza.
Witness Trailer Sales down in Esco, the Stream Dudes, who are one of our favorite sponsors, just for the fact that they helped us with that box to help protect our brand new machine. We want to make sure that we thank the Proctor Public Schools and the current and past board members who have helped foster this program along. Want to make sure Great Lakes Office Solutions is thanks, and also the Rob and Bob Shaler Charitable Fund.
Absolutely. I'm sure they're watching tonight. They enjoy this.
I would think that they're watching. I would be super surprised if they were.
Militich with a 3 there.
We had a great turnout last Friday. Got to honor and dedicate our studio name to the Shalers for the help they've gotten. Pogachnik for 3 there. It was a great turnout for that, and it was super awesome because they were totally taken back that it was happening and had no clue. So that was really awesome.
Yep, great couple, great people, nice family.
There was nothing cliche about everything you just said there, Coach.
It's all authentic. I know them personally, and they are very great people, and they don't think twice about donating to a program like this, especially so they can see their granddaughter play basketball.
Absolutely. Pogachnik now left side, couldn't handle it, and Barnum will take the ball off the floor and push it back offensively. So on the floor right now, you've got Littman, you've got Pogachnik, Parendo, and a big 3. What number was that? 19?
Reese Militich.
Militich?
Freshman Militich with the second 3 of the game for her. She has an older sister that's down at St. Catharines right now. I know she's dealing with some concussion issues, but I do believe she's part of the basketball program there. So it's a deep history with the family there. And teeing it up again. She's single-handedly brought the Bombers back into this game.
She has.
3 for 3 from the three-point line's a good start.
Yeah, and you know what I like about having you on the broadcast, Coach? Well, one of the many things is I could honestly just sit here and you just run, and it's been a really long day. I've already done one game, and people probably don't want to hear me anyway, and so I can just take that breather and just go, okay, go ahead. And you have so much knowledge of these girls, these players, like Kendall and her sister and stuff that I would have no clue of.
Jordan Marine with her second block of the game. It's going to be tough to get down low there and put up easy shots with her patrolling down there. And the problem I have is if you let me, I'll just keep talking.
Oh, and that's not a problem, trust me. So Marnick's now into the game for Littman, our one and only senior on our team this year.
Honored before the game.
So Nyland now, Pogachnik. Pogachnik now looking for help. She's got Marnich down low. Little jumper from Marnich, just a little shy. And the Bombers will come down with the board.
Jordan Mouse, that's a softball player from Denfeld. Jordan Marine picks up another rebound.
And it looks like Rodberg's getting ready to check in for the rails, and Parendo is going to take Nyland's rebound, drive it up.
See if she can get away with the lock. Nope, and there's her third block of the game.
That's the third. She's a big young lady. You said she's a junior?
Sophomore.
Sophomore.
She has a sister that played JV that's as tall as her and an 8th grader.
So Pogachnik gets a hand on that. Fraze gets the board that was intended for Marine. Now Nyland drives the paint, goes right, goes left, can't get it to fall. Marine with the board.
You won't see a shot block on that possession, but she absolutely altered that shot, and that's what 6'2" does for you in the lane.
Absolutely. Now the Bombers attempt 3, can't get it to go, and Marine's going to get called for a foul.
That little push to the back, trying to get vertical over the top.
That's her first, team's third. Liz Fraze comes out, Rodberg in, and I can't tell you that I don't like to watch Rodberg play. She is a go, 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 and man, what a good time.
She has a motor that doesn't quit, and most coaches will tell you that's one thing they really like about players. Mackenzie, how do you want to say it?
Slattert for the foul. That's her second.
Yeah, she's coming out. She got aggressive there, trying to get a quick turnover and ran into Sam Parendo. I'll butcher some last names if you let me.
Hey, well, let's just both do it together. How do you like that new score tile down there on the broadcast?
That looks great.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah. Oh, you guys just...
We just made that one in between games.
Nice.
We got some very talented students.
Yeah, the kids really do a good job helping put this together. Jordan Marine with another rebound.
Tomorrow I'll be 10 feet deep in snow, but we'll be down at the Excel Center broadcasting the girls' game. What were you going to say?
Mallory, and one of them last name, I think. Mallory?
Oh, yeah, what number?
35.
Mallory. Argus.
Dribble drive attack to take the lead for the Bombers.
So make sure you tune into your Rails TV. We will not have live video.
Right, just a broadcast stream.
We will have video for our sponsors and things like that, but we will not have live video of the game. But myself and Terry Fawcett will be on the call. A big hit for Parental from the left side for three.
The nice thing about the last 2 weeks or so is our assist assassin has decided to become a little more offensive minded, and that really helps us team when.
You like that assist assassin?
Yeah, absolutely. I like the big adjectives. But anytime you can get another person involved and just make them a threat helps the team overall. And she's put up double digits numbers repeatedly, and it's one of her best things has been a dribble drive attack. You know, either getting layups or going to the free throw line.
Floor foul. It's going to be called on O'Leary, number 12.
Another eighth grader, a little left-handed eighth grader that plays really well.
So now Pogachnik into Nyland. Pogachnik.
Here's one for you. The Rails averaged 20 free throws a game. In our game against Hermantown on Friday, we shot 40. We actually made 9 more free throws than we typically average.
Wow, that's crazy. Nyland with a big board underneath. Pushes it out to Pogachnik. Inside of Rodberg. Rodberg gives to Parento. Parento now going to, there's going to be a kick. We're not playing soccer, ladies.
You can still use that foot for defense, but it's a violation, and the other team will get possession of the ball.
Oh, our camera down on the far end just fell asleep over there. Kyle Howe get on there in that corner, folks. So if you just got sick, blame him.
Looks like the Bombers are staying in a little bit of a 2-3 zone. Anybody that scouted us knows we'll struggle against that. Rodberg tried to gather that, but it went out on her. Bombers ball. Marnitz just in and out with a little 15-foot jumper.
Two.
Violation against the Bombers, little traveling call, so Proctor Rails ball.
We got all new students tonight. Yes, sir. Oh, we can check it out, though. Got our stats folks here. We got 3 new camera people. So it's that whole turnover of semester classes.
That's good to break in some new students.
Absolutely. Got one of them that's not even part of that. Marnitz. Oh, you try to, we talk about her getting aggressive. She got just a little too aggressive there. Yeah. Once she should have just kissed that glass.
You got to make those shots. It's close games, and right now this is a close games. But we talked free throws early, but free throws and layups in close games make a difference. Looks like Marnitz got the little poke check there.
I was just gonna say. Jeff Brook, our site supervisor tonight, as our AD Dan Stopper is down in the cities for the girls playoff action for hockey. Nyland tries a long 3, can't get it to fall, going to go out of bounds, and it's going to be a turnover, be Bomber ball.
We're back in the full court press here. Looks like a 1-2, 1-1 press. They got it over half court.
All by herself for 3.
If you can break a press, you can get open looks, and I believe Milicic there is 4-4 from the arc tonight.
Inside to Marnitz. Marnitz now gets the ball knocked out of her hand, and the Bombers are going to drive the other way. Going to be a travel called. as she should have jump stop, not walk stop. Number 13.
Coach is taking a timeout there.
Timeout taken, and we're going to take a quick one too. We'll be back right after these words from one of our sponsors.
You're going to get the best service possible.
I'm serious. I'm not even picking on you about the soccer piece. It's been such a long day. And
Sure.
I was like,
They're always
started
here,
going, I'm like,
willing to help the plan.
Knew that when it was time for my own, I would have
I'll try and find
not
some
any
topics to
problem
jump
coming
on.
to them.
Friendliness makes you feel welcome. Professionalism of the practice of
Yeah, I was pounding tile down in Lake Nebagman all day.
gives you confidence
Knocking out a shower
you're
stall.
in the right place.
back here at the rail yard, Ted Kiewit along with Todd Martich. The Rails down by a point to the Bombers, 13-14 with 8:25 left here first half. Thanks for joining us.
Reese Miletich single-handedly keeping,
She's got 4 threes, right?
yeah, 4-4 from the arc. They'll take that all day long.
Martich inside to Pogacnik. Pogacnik's going to get fouled by Mariner. It's Mariner?
I was saying Marine.
Marine.
Looks like Marine to me.
You're right, it's Marine. I just don't have the paper in my hand. And I'm kind of weak today.
I think she has 4 or 5 blocks in this game, but she's absolutely swatting there and missed the ball and got arm, so Pogacnik's at the line shooting 2 and just tied the game up. So that's her second foul of the game, and she's been kind of patrolling that lane, so if we can get her into foul trouble, that'll make a difference going down the stretch.
Liz Fraze now coming back into the game for Peyton Rodberg. So now Bomber ball, they'll bring it up.
They see O'Leary with the ball trying to trap her, but she passes back.
Free ball now, Parendo, Nyland. Pogacnik sidesteps back to Parendo. That was a nice little pass.
Yeah, little wraparound.
Sometimes she just got to take that shot. Inside, now Fraze. Nice little teamwork passing there.
Yeah,
Pogacnik to Martich to Fraze.
Yep. Just a couple quick short passes, and instead of shooting a contested shot, you're shooting a wide open shot. They did a nice job there. Not sure, but Prenda might have got away with one there.
You think so? Now,
refs don't see everything.
Oh, Pogacnik just a little too hard on that. Oh, gets the board back on an errant pass from the Bombers.
Nyland for 3.
Nyland for 3, can't get it to fall, but Parendo's right there for the board, and she'll reset it with Pogacnik.
We're shooting about 25% on the season from the three-point line, and tonight doesn't look much different.
Now Pogacnik, you've got Pogacnik, Fraze, Parendo, Martich, and Nyland on the floor for the Rails. Pogacnik on to drive into the paint, short jumper, can't get it to fall, but tries to go get her own board, knocks it out of bounds, and will turn it over and be Bomber ball.
Yep, Jordan Marine will get credit for that rebound. She had hands on it before it got tipped out. We have another timeout. We got timeouts flying all over the place this game
That's
already.
crazy. But hey, you can't take them to the next with you.
No, you can't.
You know?
And I think the coach for Barnum is saying that he's in this game, and if he can correct a few things and run with this team, you got a team that's ranked 87th in the QRF competing right now with a team that's ranked 8th.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It happens any given night.
I was just going to say, but, you know, that's that analogy, you know, we use football and everywhere else. Any given Sunday, you know, or in this case, any given night, you know, the tides can turn. It's who comes out to play and who gets lazy and who doesn't.
I think it just speaks volume to the quality of basketball in the Northland, especially in 7AA. You know, I've talked to a lot of friends and people I know that share a common interest of girls basketball in the area. And I truly believe when the tournament starts next week, any of 7 teams could come out of the section. There's 16 teams between the 2 subsections, and you know I think we're probably at least 7 deep. That on any given night, if one team comes out hot and another's a little flat, you can have an upset.
So let's talk about that while we come out of this timeout, Coach. I mean, tell me, you know, you look at both subsections and look at those 7 teams you're talking about. You know, where do you see our I don't want to call it an Achilles heel, but where do you see where we might have the hardest time getting out of, you know, one of the, if not the toughest sections in the state?
I don't know that it's the teams that we play as much as it is how we play on a given night. On Tuesday night, we played a really good Marshall team that had a really nice write-up in the paper about the dynamic duo and everything else, and that group up there is doing great things, and you don't want to play them when they're hot and you're going to be flat, but I've never been in a gym with that much energy this season. Even our 1-point double overtime win against Hermantown, I didn't think compared to that. But then the next time we played Thursday against Cloquet, it's the conference championships on the line in that game, and we came out flat, and if that's a team that shows up during the section playoffs, we could struggle. We need everybody firing on all cylinders to compete. And I don't think it's the teams or the players in front of our kids. I think it's our kids.
Absolutely. You can only control what you've got going on. And you're right, they came out flat, but I tell you what, that second half against Cloquet, they came out and played game.
Yep, but you don't want to start slow against one of the top teams in the section.
Oh, absolutely. Big three for Parendo. I believe she's...
that's her second.
2 of 3.
Yep, that sounds right.
We can check those stats a little bit later. Nyland going to get called for a foul here.
Yep, you want to kind of bait them and think make the defense or offense think you're behind them, but you definitely got to get around them. You're not going to be able to poach up too many out without getting a push call. So, in that press trap, you're looking for the girls in front of you to stop the ball, get some arms up in the passing lanes, and that ball to come out loose. And that's what you're looking to steal. So you just got to be aware of where that offensive player is and get around them.
Haley Evans now into the game for the Rails. Notice I didn't say the wrong name.
You're getting it. We're almost done with the season. You're getting it.
It'll be there eventually. And Maureen
Jordan
for
Maureen
2.
Yeah, she just kind of turned around, threw up almost a fadeaway floater, and with her height, that's an advantage. Even as tall as Caitlin is, I think Jordan has her by an inch or 2.
She does look like she takes up a lot of up-down real estate there.
Yes, vertical. She's long. She's long, as we like to say in the business.
She's long. So Parendo to Fraze to Pogachnik now, top of the key, looking for Marnich inside, turns little jumper. We got to get her to catch that, take that step and drive, and make it count.
And Jordan has 2 fouls right now, and she's really controlling the defensive side of the floor for the Barnum Bombers. And maybe the offensive side, not so much there, but, she on the last possession she scored. But if we can get one more foul on her in this half, and, the coach would be almost foolish not to take her out and give her a break to save her last 2 fouls for the second half.
Right. Again, want to thank everybody for joining us here at the Rail Yard at Proctor High School. Ted Keevan along with Todd Barnich. Thank you for tuning in for our last broadcast of the girls basketball team. Pogachnik just kind of finishing off where she, picking up where she finished off last game, with just when she gets down low there, just a little too rough.
Yeah, a little strong, maybe a little excited.
Fraze with the big interception. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there, Coach.
No, I just wanted to point out there, Morgan got a foul because she tried defending from behind, and Liz jumped in front of that pass and was able to complete the steal there.
Looks like a D-back to me. Maybe we need to sign her.
Oh, nice pump fake. I think it's the rim.
You think it's bent? Maybe a little oblong or something?
I don't know. Somebody better check. Maybe there's the cellophane across the top of it.
So now the Barnum Bombers here, offensive zone. You got 3:56 left here, first half. Drive right. Rain now can't get it to fall, but will draw the foul, and she should go to the line.
That's a good dribble drive attack from a 6'2" kid, starting up at the 15-foot mark, and just putting her head down and going strong to the hoop. You're either going to get a good opportunity or an opportunity to shoot 2 free throws.
And she hits the first of 2. And looking down, Pogachnik and Parendo were here talking to the coaches, and Pogachnik looks a bit tired. She kind of just took a big old deep breath and let it out, and kind of looked at Coach and went, wow.
Well, she's played a lot of minutes this season. She's a player that once she hits the floor, doesn't come off the floor too often. So, this time of the year, the season gets long, and you really got to be firing on all cylinders when you hit the end of the season here.
Marnich to Fraze now. Fraze up to Parendo. Parendo over to Pogachnik. Right side of the key. Back down to Fraze. Fraze for 3. And in and out. Can't get it to fall.
Tell me it's not the rim.
But it went in, so we know it's not cellophane.
Well, it could be a couple inches down.
Take that bounce off.
Wait till the second half. You said okay the second half where you really turned it on. It could be the rim.
It could be. It could be.
Good thing when we get to the second round of the playoffs, it won't be in this gym.
Oh, come on. We love this gym.
Half of it. Half of it.
Just that half. Going to be a travel called.
Yeah, she was looking to release the ball a bit sooner, but Sam Progashnik wasn't looking quite yet, so she held it, and before she put it down, she took a step.
The kids are passing candy around again tonight, Coach. I really want one of those candy bars. I'm thinking I should yell at Cole and tell him to shoot me one up here.
Caitlin gets blocked by Marine again. Haley Evans poke checks and saves it. Caitlin can try the 18-footer and finally hits her first shot of the game.
And I couldn't get a candy bar, Coach. Sorry, I was lacking in my duties, but that sugar would have tasted good right around now.
I'm on a diet right now. We've cut out all sugar.
Well, you're a better man than I got to tell you.
You didn't see me a couple of days ago when I was very angry.
I don't hangry?
Angry, no.
Angry?
My sugar dragon. They call it your sugar dragon.
Sugar dragon.
My sugar dragon was coming out and needed to be fed, and I wouldn't feed it. Another turnover by the Rails, putting pressure on Barnum, and they threw a looping pass that just dribbled off their feet out of bounds.
Sorry, I got lost there for a minute. I was trying to picture you as a sugar dragon, and I just...
I'm not the sugar dragon. It's my inner sugar dragon.
Yeah, but that's you, pal. I just want you to know. Gottschnick for three. She gets it to fall.
Now we're starting to see the results we anticipated in this game.
All by herself down there. Interception by Gottschnick. There's a safety play if I ever saw one. Sign her to contract and let's go to work.
You see that? You get a little tired so you don't quite drop down into defense. You kind of hang around that half-court line, and when your teammates get a turnover, you're the first one they're looking at.
So here's the replay. Here's Gottschnick's three. Gets it nothing but net with room to spare. So a great shot there. Thank you, Mr. Shevchuk, for providing Todd and I with those instant replays.
That's nice, fun to watch, absolutely.
Isn't that awesome? And Gottschnick hits both, right?
Yep.
All right.
Knocked two down.
Interception by Nyland. I'm telling you, got a whole group of defensive backs here. We got to sign them.
Well, that's a problem right there with dribbling with your head down. All of a sudden you look up and know you need to get rid of the ball because you just picked up your dribble and you haven't jump stopped, and the first person you see is wearing green. It's too late to bring the ball back.
Nice ball movement by the Rails inside to Rodberg. Rodberg tries the old backdoor slide. Couldn't get it to fall. Nyland there got a board. Couldn't get it to go, and then the Bombers come down with it and drive it back to the offensive zone.
That's a shot she's used effectively this year, but I think Marine's in their head a little bit. They're going a little strong. They're going a little over the top, and
Marine for two there as you talk about her.
Yeah, it's just the thing I said earlier. She may not get blocks every time down the floor, but if they're in their head, or and there's another block as we talk about it, but you absolutely can alter shots. It's got to be 5 or 6. It's got to be 5 or 6 pretty easily.
So Gottschnick from the corner, that's for 3.
I think I spoke a little too soon about shooting 25% from the arc. Right now we're looking pretty solid out there.
Oh, Preno tried to get there, couldn't get a hand on it, and the Barnum Bombers will retain. Big shot for 2. Can't get it to fall. Nyland with the board. Gottschnick and Owl push it back up. There's Rodberg all alone. Gets her to go. Nice assist, nice bucket. And it's 32-20.
And there's the difference between dribbling down the floor with your head down versus up. When you look up, you can see open people like that.
Big interception again due to the two-hand pass.
Savannah Linton wanted to get in the assist parade.
Yes, she did.
Sam would pull the trigger on the shot, though.
That's too bad. She'll get there.
Seven seconds left in this half.
Pop it.
Savannah for three.
All right, Savannah.
Good to have a relation child on that senior night.
Absolutely, absolutely. Our one and only senior and probably one of the nicest young ladies you'll ever meet on the face of the planet. Wow, that was big. That was big. The officials were doing something. They're not sure what the question was there, but hey, what we're going to do, Coach, is we're going to take a break. We'll come back about halfway through. We'll talk a little bit of stats since we have these amazing stat folks down here, and then we'll jump into the second half and see what we can do.
Let's get after it.
All right, folks, we'll be back after this. Enjoy the Papa Shot. We'll talk soon.
Proctor Public Schools, where academics, the arts, and activities form the perfect partnership. Proctor Public Schools. We are real strong.
back here at the Rail Yard Tech Team along with Todd Marich. Talking just a little bit about the stats before we get started here, waiting for the Barnum Bombers to come out. What do you got there, Coach?
It looks like Sam Pogachnik leads all scorers with 22 points.
22,000 points?
22,000 points tonight. It's unbelievable. Will Chamberlain would be rolling around in his grave. He might still be alive, sorry.
Yeah, I think he is still alive.
he's old.
I don't think he's dead. That's funny.
Oh, I'm counting attempts, so that might be different.
All right, so let's, while he's doing that, I'll start with Barnum. Barnum has 10 turnovers. That's not going to help him out a lot. And then their biggest scorer, oh, wow. How do you say Milicic?
That's what I say.
Milicic, 4 for 4 from the arc.
Right, we've seen that early.
Wow, that's crazy. And then the next closest person for the Barnum Bombers is Marine, who is 4 of 7 from 2 points. And she's got the only 2 free throws and attempts by the Barnum Bombers.
So here's a little correction. Rounding up the bottom, we'll go bottom to top. Marnich has 2. Linton with the big 3 to finish the half. We got Morgan Nyland with 5. Sam Prendel with 6. Liz Fraze with 7. And Sam Pogachnik with 12. I was looking at attempts, not makes. There's a difference between a shot maker and a shot taker.
Big time difference. I actually was trying to explain to our stats folks the difference between a FG and an FGA.
Yep.
You know, so, but hey, want to touch on something here, a little funny. Probably funny more to me than anybody else. So during the stuff, a certain grandparent was wondering what was going on with our stream and finally figured out that we had taken a break, but she absolutely loved the instant replay stuff.
Good.
And showing that on and talking to them on there. So, you know, and again, I don't care who knows, I'll preach it to the world. You know, I'm glad she loves that instant replay because without her, we wouldn't have it.
Right.
So, you know, good for us to have that, and you know, it's just an awesome added piece to what we get to do.
Right, and thank you again to Barb.
Well, wait, what about Rob?
Well, we know who signs the checks on that.
I'm not going to go there. That's none of my business. None of my business. But hey, we're going to get back underway here. Start of second half. Rails up 34-20 over the Barnum Bombers. Barnum Bombers with the possession arrow, and now started. Marine inside, turns, jumps, and rolls off the front of the rim, and the Rails will come down with us. Liz Fraze with the board.
You know, you like to see the big kids put up shots, but the one thing most coaches will say is square up to the hoop, and she just kind of half turned and just kind of rolled it off the side of her hand, and the shot still had a chance, but again, I think a coach would have been happier if she just squared up and went up strong.
Right. Pogachnik now, top left side, into Parendo. Fraze down low. Oh, Marine gave up on that. She should have drove. That would have been an easy 2, I think.
Right. But when you see 6'2" with 6 blocks in front of you, it tends to make you think twice.
Pogachnik for 3. She's a little short, and it'll go out of bounds, and it'll be Barnum ball.
Now, she looked a little surprised at the results there, but that happens from time to time. Barnum stayed in the 2-3 zone against us, which is probably a good opportunity for them. Nyland with the steal there, and Pogachnik going up for 2. Maybe it's both rims.
Get it to fall. I'm going to guess it's both rims since you said it was the one before, but I think you were wrong on that one. I hate to say that, but I'm sure if I ask your missus, she'll tell me that you've been wrong before. So
once or twice.
Once or twice. My wife won't agree to that, and that's only because I pay her off, but hey, whatever. Savannah Linden still in the game here for the Rails. Hit a big 3 right at half, our one and only senior on our roster, and what a great 3 it was.
Yep, the whole place lit up for that one. There's been about probably 10 3-pointers made in that first half between both teams, but I don't think anybody got as excited as when Savannah made that basket.
Got a great student section here tonight. We tend to travel well anyway. I'm a little concerned about our student section with the hockey tournament tomorrow. I just got a text from a friend of mine who lives down there, and they're closing schools.
Wow.
Because of the snow that's supposed to be coming.
That's good to know. My daughter wants to go to the game tomorrow night, but I think that just decided her fate.
Now, and see, the thing is down there, unlike up here, is you can actually say, you know, there's not if it comes. You know, Lake Superior does so many things with our weather up here that you got to wait till it shows up. If it's on a track to hit the cities, it's going to hit the cities.
Right. Listening to a weatherman today, he said he hates it, but he's got a 4 to 8 inch spread for the weather, and he says you can't tighten it up because you don't know what the lake is going to do.
A 4 to 8 or a 48?
4 to 8 inch.
Oh, that's changed. They're talking like 20. They say if it hits us, they're talking 20 by the week, or between now and the weekend.
Yeah, because there's 2 systems coming through.
That's just nuts, man.
One tomorrow and then one Sunday.
We got nowhere to put it.
Right. The banks are getting tall.
Oh, wait. They're always tall. Banks, you know, banks.
Banks. Snowbanks are getting taller.
Oh, snowbanks. Fraze now pushes it off to Nyland, down to Litton, and she hits it. Oh, I was hoping that one was going to go too.
Just a little back rim and back at her, but Liz Fraze regained the possession, and Morgan Nyland struggled to shoot over the top of Jordan.
Barnum now inside the Marine, gets it, can't get it to fall though. And Pogosnik comes down with the board. You
can tell she's a young player, stronger on defense and offense right now. She just isn't experienced enough to drop step and go strong to that hoop. You know, she's almost trying to fade away with her size, just hold the ball up high and just get after it. And Barnum sits back in that 2-3 zone as Prendo tries to open up a gap there. We swing it around.
Ever told you I love Papa Shot?
Get your sugar fix. You're feeding your sugar dragon.
I am. My sugar dragon's going to be happy here in a minute.
That was a nice pass from Savannah underneath Liz Fraze for 2.
Hey, if they had big things of water on there, I would have taken one of those. Pogosnik is called for the foul. That's her second. No, that's not her second. Whose is it?
I think it's her first, but we're a little slow down there on the uptake. Someone's got to go hit Travis in the back of the head.
That's her first team's first here, second half. And Fraze and Litton come out of the game now, and in is Rodberg and Marnich. Prendo with a big board.
She got the steal there, got the board on her own shot, and missed it.
And Pogosnik for 3.
The rim's starting to let loose.
I would hope so. I was starting to think you were right that now it was both sides.
Miletich has people wide open underneath, and she's looking to shoot the 3-pointer, which I guess I don't blame her when she hasn't missed yet.
So now 13:37 left here, second half, 39-22 Rails lead over the Bombers. And good defense by the Bombers, but it'll stay Rails ball. Here's the shot from Pogosnik on the replay.
You know,
nice extension, nice release.
You know what we say there?
Nothing but net.
Swish.
So now Pogosnik into Rodberg. Rodberg looks help, pushes back out to Pogosnik. Pogosnik.
They're trying to overload the one side of the zone with 4 players lining up on that side.
Marnich now into the corner with Nyland. Inside to Rodberg. Takes a step, turns now, pushes back out to Pogosnik.
Thought twice with the steel curtain standing behind her.
Yep. She must break me. Marnich now goes up and is going to draw the foul and go to the line.
That's a good possession, even though we didn't make the basket there. We were still getting an opportunity for 2 free throws, and Jordan Marine just picked up her 3rd foul. And, you know, again, if you can attack that and not let her block it and protect and get her out of the game, it'll benefit anybody that's trying to drive interior.
Absolutely. Marnich hits the first of 2. That was Jeff Brook that just walked through our camera area. He's our site director tonight, and Marnich hits both. And the Rails now go up 41-22 here with 12:58 left in the second half.
We got an odd man rush, but again, Barnum just looking down at the floor as they're dribbling. They don't see it.
Pogosnik takes it right out, and she's going to drive up, take it herself.
Timeout, Barnum.
Timeout taken by Barnum. We'll take a quick timeout ourselves. We'll be back Right after this, your Rails lead, 43-22.
Research very well, and it's
You can talk here.
They install the windows, take the old windows out.
I can't hear you.
Plus,
Something about the bathroom.
by Anderson. My window consultant was Jerry, and he was so
What's that?
patient and kind, and he wasn't too pushy about buying it. Just did whatever I asked him. The installation team was
you're
Matt
upstairs?
and Bill, and they were just fabulous. If I wasn't here, I would
It's
never
full
have
right now.
been here. It's
It's
perfect.
full right now.
Life's better at the lake, and it's even better with my new windows from Renewal by Anderson compared to the window.
All right.
Back here at the Rail Yard, Tip Martich. We got Ian Shipchuck. Oh, man, who else do I have today? Dane Johnson down there doing the sprinkler. All right, it's good to see. Kyle Haugen, we got Carly Glass, we got Jacob Smith, Tanner Rusevich, and who am I forgetting? I think I'm forgetting Eli.
Yep.
Eli, our foreign exchange student from France. I almost call him our French exchange student. We call him Frenchie, great kid. It's going to be sad when the end of the school year gets here and we don't have him here anymore. He's just a great kid.
We've hosted 2 foreign exchange students, and it is a real great experience. We're still in contact with both of them and hope to go visit them this summer over in Europe.
Yeah, he fits in just fine. He's got that picking dry, almost French humor, and he fits in just perfect. Foul called on Sam Prendle. That was her first, the team's second, and a big save there by Pogachnik to Prendo, and puts it in line. And Pogachnik's going to draw
Pick
a foul.
up her second.
What?
And that's a risk reward for pressing. You know, if you're in a good spot and you can knock a ball loose, you know, we've gained a bunch of baskets and a bunch of good open looks off of our press here, but there's a home run shot there too. But the other side of it
Maz
is
there, we got a hand in front of that. Sorry, Coach.
when you're too aggressive, you can get into a little bit of foul situation.
So we got Maz and Evans now into the game along with Rodberg, Parendo, and Nyland.
Josie Mouse takes a page out of Kevin McHale's handbook and steps interior and drop steps underneath and goes up and under.
Kevin McHale.
The Hibbing native.
He's from Hibbing?
Sharon Swanson's cousin. Did you know that?
I didn't know.
Yeah.
But I was just kidding about is that Marine thought this was a WWE match, and Prendo got rolled up on and pinned, it looked like.
You see many kids take a bigger beating playing the game of basketball than Sam Prendo.
You know what? It's in our teams that we have this year. The only other one I would say is Quincy Clark. Man, he gets, especially tonight, he got beat up.
I watched him Friday night, and he took a charge and they reversed and called it a blocking call, and that kid put his body right in front of the play to try and take one for the team, and almost did, but they reversed the call on him. We got a back and forth pass there.
Beautiful.
It's like, you shoot. No, you shoot.
That's a great teamwork pass there.
Yep, unselfish. Share the ball. The crowd was looking for over and back, and the refs got that right because she hadn't established all 3 points over before she tossed back.
So Nyland now going to bring it up the floor. She's got Parendo. Evans, Parendo, Maz underneath. Evan drives. Oh, she met Marine. And the foul's going to be called on Maz, it looks like.
I have no working knowledge of this, but if I had to guess, I'd say Jordan Marine might be a volleyball player.
I would hope so with that block that we just saw.
Yeah, but she looked more like she was trying to hit a quick set down than block a shot. Most coaches would tell you to stay straight up, but if you got that kind of verticality, you can use it.
So Evans now draws her first foul, team's fourth. Go ahead, Coach, sorry.
Number 43 is in the game now for Jordan Marine. That's her younger sister, Allison Marine.
Still got some good height on her.
Yep. Did a nice job in the JV game.
Jump ball is going to stay with the Bombers. And Liz Frey is going to come back into the game.
Kids hitting the floor.
You know, it's like I tell my athletes when I coach baseball and stuff like that. You know, you got to get dirty.
Right.
There are times where you just have to get dirty, and it's the same here. Even though you're on the gym floor, you got to get dirty sometimes to keep that possession.
Hustle until they no longer ask who you are.
Absolutely. Big three-point play. That's number 5. Mackenzie. How did we decide we were going to say her last name?
I forgot. Mackenzie.
Charlotte?
Sometimes when I announce the in-house PA, I'll go ask the coaches pronunciations, and even when they tell me and I practice and write it down the way it should be, I still get it wrong sometimes.
You know, I do the exact same thing, but we were working on trying to make this cool score widget, which right here, if you look close, that's the Rails TV logo.
Nice.
But you can't see it because of this big white box that I took the logo out of and got rid of, but hey, whatever.
It's a work in progress.
Absolutely. If it was perfect, then we'd have to give it up and we wouldn't want to do it. Now, Fraze with the big board after the youngest Marine tried to put it up.
Yep. I was just talking to somebody at the halftime. This Barnum Bomber squad is pretty young, and they got some height and some nice pieces of the puzzle. If this group keeps working hard as early as next year, they might be a team that comes out and competes hard every night.
Absolutely.
They're definitely working hard on the floor.
Jump ball is going to go rail ball. I thought she was going to roundhouse kick Nyland there.
She was trying to leverage it as much as she could.
She's got strong hands.
Yes. Coach Solberg's starting to go to the bench now, which is good to see kids get these opportunities. Taylor Bradley's a junior that's played for a long time, has worked really hard at the game, and does a nice job. So it's nice to see her get rewarded with some varsity minutes in a game like this.
You think he'll put us in?
I don't know if he'll go that deep.
That would make it a really deep bench, you're right. So Bradley tries for the shot, can't get it to go, and then there's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to be a Barnum ball.
Allison Marine with the block shot against Taylor there. The Marines are just totaling up their blocks. If they leave Jordan long enough, she might get a double-double with one half of that being blocks.
So now Barnum drives it into the offensive zone. That's number 15. Well, how'd you say Kendall's last name? Milicic. She dribbles very hard.
She does. Her sister played the game very hard. She's a tough-nosed player that, would take the game to you.
I gotcha.
I was saying Reese earlier, but the Kendall's 15, 13 is Reese. Kendall's the one that has the 4 3-pointers, and now when she touches the ball out on the arc, we're closing out a little bit quicker than we did earlier.
And she dribbles very hard. Nyland gets aggressive defensively, tries to get in there, knocks the errant pass down, but it'll stay Bomber ball.
Proctor's in their signature man-to-man.
I love watching Evans play. She got that long wingspan that she gets out there.
I talked earlier about Savannah being one of the nicest kids in the program, and it's a program full of them, but Haley Evans is another child that is genuinely nice and kind.
Her dad is questionable.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He'll probably slug me one of these times the next time he sees me, but hey.
That just gives you reason to hit him back.
I deserved it. Nyland for 3 because they left her alone. Can't get it to fall, and the younger Marine will go get it and bring it on the board and now push it back to the offensive zone for the Bombers.
Yeah, I'd say the coach for Barnum's doing a nice job. He's trying to get some of his younger players involved in the game.
Holy goodness.
Even though there's a lot of time left, but that goes to speak volumes to somebody trying to develop a young program. Josie Miles lights it up from 3, just back rims it, but it's fun to see some of those players get attempts that they normally don't see in a typical game.
Fraze takes a step, duns around, and gets the 2. And on the next whistle, it looks like the entire core is being changed out.
Wholesaling.
Fire sale here at Proctor.
And hopefully at this point, coach has some things he wants them to work on, going forward. It's a game where it's almost a controlled scrimmage type atmosphere, being up 26 points here with 7 minutes left in the game. So hopefully when they go out there and maybe if it's a set play or a new defense or something that they might not have shown during the season, but they might use come playoff time. You're using this to work on the next thing coming up. Starting to look at the next game. Josie Miles wanted more time. She wasn't coming off the floor, but they won't let us play with 6.
Yeah, well, Maybe they'll let us.
That's a technical foul, but you know why you never see it get called? It's the ref's fault if they start, inbound the ball with 6 players on the floor. So a good ref will count how many they have before. Nice play.
Wow, I'd like to see that one again. That's for sure. That was nice from Marnitz to Rodberg.
Is that the key word for play that again, please?
Could be, yeah, here. Marnitz inside. Rodberg comes right hand and gets her to fall. That was pretty. Right with Marine, right in her face there, too, Coach.
Tough to defend that.
Marine's shot doesn't drop. Pogachnik comes down with the board. Inside, Marnitz gives to Rodberg again and drops it again. And I think there could have been an and one there.
That was close. In a game like this, a ref would rather see him keep playing versus stop the game. And if it's not real obvious.
Pogachnik's going to draw her third.
Everybody wants to get in the steal category today.
Well, or, just seeing how
many. Or the foul category.
I was going to say, or it's just how many fouls can I get before they take me out? So now Barnum moves the ball around.
Looks like they're looking for their three-point shot, but every time they do, we got a hand up contesting. If you leave her alone, she's going to put it up.
And 5 for 5. 5 for 5 from the arc. Wow. That is crazy.
You remember the Detroit Pistons, Vince Johnson?
Yeah.
The microwave. Once he heats up, he lights it up.
It's crazy.
Vinny Johnson, the microwave. Kendall Milicic, the microwave. When she heats up, she gets hot.
Look at you just giving other teams' players nicknames.
Well, you got to respect that.
Absolutely.
I like good basketball, and she's playing good basketball. That child just traveled, but and again, in a 25-point game, you might not see that call all the time.
You've got a slew of Rails players that are going to be coming in at the next whistle. This is where I try to use all the big words. You got a gaggle, a slew, and Marine for 2.
Yeah, made a nice contested shot there. Just a quick turnaround jumper. It's tough to defend that, but I thought I heard the slap up here, but refs don't officiate with their ears. They officiate with their eyes, and they didn't make that call.
Oh, I'd like to see that one again.
It looks like she might have got the wind knocked out of her.
I think she did. She took that full. Wow! Oh, that was in the lady parts.
Okay, I was looking down at the floor.
Yep, that was a little lower in the lady parts. Hopefully she's going to be all right there.
She did a nice job of holding her hip bone and not her lady parts on.
Yeah.
Looks like she's laughing it off. Woo.
I'm sorry, as a guy, I had to lay down and just cried for a little while.
Yeah, we're the weaker sex, that's for sure.
Well, I didn't say all that, no.
No, I did.
Oh, you got the whole young squad coming in now at the next whistle. Wow.
Nice. Sydney Yost is getting her first opportunity to play a little bit of varsity, and that's really exciting to see when these kids get their first chance at that. Sydney's a player that I've coached all the way through, and she's come up through the ranks this year as a C-team player, has gotten more and more minutes at the JV level as players have kind of moved around, and now she's going to go hit that varsity floor for the first time, and that's a kid that works hard, and it's nice to see them be rewarded.
Well, it's just nice to see how deep our bench can really be if you really think about it. We talk about the Fab Five, if you will, and next year's it for us with them for here, and to know that we have that much depth on the bench, and that you kind of as a fan go, okay, this is going to be fine and probably fine for quite some time.
Well, I think one of the things that's happened with the program here is people have taken notice. There's a group of kids and with parental support that have put a lot of time into this, and you're starting to see the fruits of their labor with the conference championship, the #1 seed in subsection 2 and ranked 8th in the state, and I truly believe that success breeds success, and people want to be a part of that. And with the sophomore group, we had conversations with their coaches as we came through and told them, if you want to have success, not as a 5th grade team, but as a 8th, 9th, 10th grade team, here's what you should be doing. And reluctantly, they jumped in and realized pretty early on it was the right thing. And behind there was a freshman, and I was fortunate to be able to coach that group, having coached the juniors with Derek Brendo, and then having the freshman group to myself, and, creating some continuity and consistency across the board. Parents and players, bought in, and this is what you're seeing. This is why you're seeing, kids that don't get a lot of opportunities as sophomores or freshmen to play varsity because we are so strong, but behind those juniors are a strong group of players that will hopefully continue to make this program strong for years to come.
They don't call him the best color man in the business for nothing, folks.
I sat up all night writing that out.
I bet you did.
Absolutely not.
The part that is more impressive is that you memorized it. That's how I want to know how long it took you to do that.
Yeah, that was off the top of my head, Ted.
I know, trust me. And you do a great job, and again, we appreciate you lending those talents to Rails TV.
When Maureen can knock that shot down at about a 60 to 65% clip, she's going to be a dangerous player.
And she's going to carry this team like we've seen a lot of other one-player teams do.
Well, if you can get the inside out, with Kendall Milicic knocking down 5 for 5 from the arc on a regular basis, and then you can go inside and she can hit that, what are you going to defend, the three-point line or the post? It's tough to take away both all the time.
Absolutely. So as we come here to the waning moments of the second half, 3:17 left, Rails lead 57-32. And turnover now, and the Rails are going to drive back, and that's Gabby Jahola, we call her the Beast.
When I get to announce volleyball games, it's Gabriella. The Beast.
The Beast.
Jahola.
Love to watch her play. She's got like a lot of the rest, she's got a motor that goes 1,000,000 miles a minute. And she's not afraid to get dirty.
Yeah, what she lacks in height, she makes up with in energy, and she gets after it. She's a consistent three-point shooter. Will attack the lane, and will steal the ball if you put it in the wrong spot. Another player, the backcourt there, I was able to coach both those kids, and Sophie Moore and Wisconsin is just another kid that's played real hard. Sydney Yo's first varsity attempt, and she just met Jordan Marine. Might have been a bailout call there. I didn't see the foul, but Sydney, not tonight, but her last JV game, I believe against Hermantown, was 15 for 15 from the line.
Wow.
And I just jinxed her.
Yeah, you had to go and open your mouth. Marine for Marine, and looks like the younger Marine actually hurt the older Marine's hand on the way out.
Can I do this? Sydney doesn't miss 2 in a row very often.
Lucky, I tell you.
And again there, ladies and gentlemen, you just got to witness a freshman hitting the floor for the first time and scoring her first varsity points. She may not sleep tonight because that's a pretty exciting moment.
It's in the book now.
Yep.
It's in the book now.
Glad to see both of her parents in attendance tonight because I know they really enjoy watching Sid play. And Gabby.
I would hope so.
Right.
It's their kid.
Well, Chris played over at UWS, and he's a big basketball fan. Mackenzie for 3. That's her second of the game at least. She might have been added late. She's obviously in the official book, otherwise it would have been a technical. We were questioning whether Sydney's in the book or not. Here comes Hope Carlson in for her first varsity minutes.
I was just being asked by our stats folks about Sydney, but she's on the C team. Yep, she got called up tonight.
Right, we got Hope Carlson going in. Coaching Hope, I asked her one day, I was mad at her, so I asked her what her middle name was so I could call her by her whole name. And she looked at me jokingly and said Carl, so Hope Carlson's been Carl ever since.
Carl, love it.
And that's another player that, an 8th grader that's, dedicated to the sports, put the time in, and, the gifted athlete that does great things out there.
And now a 21-point lead here at the rail yard at Proctor High School. Again, want to thank all of our fans who've tuned in for joining us tonight for tonight's doubleheader. Sorry, there was a little bit of confusion there in regards to the time between the two games. Also, if you're watching this game, know that the doubleheader from the other night is available now. We had a copyright infringement issue where one of the songs that was played in between games actually banned us from the they shut us down in every country.
Courtney Warner for 3. For those of you who are watching the game and aren't familiar with all the faces out there, you got up front number 10, Courtney Warner, sophomore. Just behind her, guarding the ball right now, Sophie Morin Swanson, number 23. Hope Carlson, 13. Gabby Jahola, 25. And Sydney Yost, number 14, with the big rebound right there.
Wait till she grows into that body.
Absolutely. We saw Josie Miles do the Kevin McHale earlier, and Sydney's somebody that's had that played on for the last couple of years. You might see her out. She kicked it out. It was kind of congested there, but if she gets Dad's, I can hear Dad saying do it, but she doesn't want to shoot with the bigger defender behind her.
Sophie Morin Swanson there for a big bucket.
I'm talking about Kevin McHale. That's a relative of Kevin's right there.
Where? Oh yes. We
can name drop on the broadcast, can't we?
Why can't we?
About 35 seconds left in the game here. Barnum came out and played strong early. The Rails struggled to knock down shots early, and we've seen that from them from time to time when they're cold out of the gate. But once they warm up and things get rolling, Cindy was looking for that. She was wide open, and she actually just hiked it right behind her for the jump ball. But,
so what you're saying is we've got defensive backs, we've got a new center.
Got a new center. The ball slipped between her legs and looked like she's trying to pass it like that almost.
So we're looking at 18 ticks left here on the clock, and
looks like the refs don't want to hit the whistle in the game unless the ball goes out of bounds. Hope Carlson just put up a shot and got murdered. They had to put her on the line for her first free throw attempts as a varsity player, and Sid got the rebound, went back up with it, and there was no call there.
Nice little hockey hip check there.
So Hope Carlson with her first varsity basket of her career, so another exciting milestone for these young players here tonight.
And that's the horn, folks, and at the end of this one, right here live from the rail yard, their Rails win 67-39 over the visiting Barnum Bombers. Folks, want to thank our sponsors quickly here. Before we get into our goodbyes, hugs, and crying, I want to thank the Reed Foundation, the Rails Endowment for Academics, Arts, and Athletics Development. We want to thank the Irving Community Club Pulling for Kids. We want to make sure that Tamarack Building Supplies up on Highway 53, Heritage Window and Door over in Superior, Hearing Associates up at the mall, Sammy's Pizza West Duluth, Wittes Trailer Sales out at Esco, Stream Dudes, find them at streamdudes.com, Proctor Public Schools, current and past school board members, Lake Superior Office Solutions, and of course the Rob and Barb Schaller Charitable Foundation. We'd like to thank all of them for helping us make these broadcasts possible to you. And Coach, as you add those points up, let's just talk a little bit about going forward. We finish out the season with a strong win, work on some things, and now we will turn over to playoffs starting next Thursday, where we should face Greenway here at home.
Yeah, it'll be Greenway at home. Greenway's last in the section. Barnum put up a bigger fight than I expect Greenway to. So it's tough to play a game like that. And, the next round Saturday up at UMB should be International Falls. And the International Falls will put up a bigger fight, but I believe we beat them by 20 plus earlier in the season. Once we cross over into subsection 2, then things will get more difficult. So hopefully we can use those two earlier games to really build on some of the things we've done well and be ready to go when we see the tougher opponents.
So with that, Coach, I know you're adding points. Where are we at?
I'll call this the unofficial, but the unofficial totals for tonight is Sam Podoshnik with 14, Liz Praise with 10, Sam Prendo finished with 6, Morgan Nyland had 9, Samantha Linton with a big 3 to end the first half, Caitlin Martich had 6, Peyton Rodberg had 4, and Josie Miles with 2. So I know what
Evans had a couple. Bradley did not.
But Sid had at least one free throw, and Hope Carlson had the basket late in the game to finish with 2. So unofficial final results from the game tonight. We started slow, but we took care of business. Did what was anticipated in a game like that, and the neat thing about a game like that is you get to see Savannah put up a big 3 in senior night. You get to see freshmen and 8th graders get their first varsity minutes and points in the same game. Exciting game all around, even though the score doesn't reflect that. It's still fun to watch that game tonight.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, I want to again thank you for joining us, and good luck to the ladies down the road here. I can't wait to see what they can do, and hopefully we won't do it for sections, but if we get to the state tournament, hopefully we'll be broadcasting their games just as we are the Mirage, and we wish them nothing but luck going forward, and we'll just want to thank you for being part of it and joining us for our broadcasts. Again, you bring a ton to it, and we just appreciate what you do so that people don't get bored with it.
Well, you're welcome. I enjoyed it. I appreciate it. It's fun. What started out as a conversation in
Sam's Club parking lot.
Sam's Club parking lot turned into this, and thank you and the staff for allowing me to do this. Like I said before, I enjoy talking basketball to anybody that'll listen. So you give me a microphone and let me talk basketball. So thank you.
So what you're saying is I gave you a platform, and now you're just hooked.
You might have a hard time getting rid of me.
All right. Well, that's okay. We like having you around, so we can live with that. Well, fans, we're going to say goodnight. We want to, again, thank you for tuning in for tonight's game. Remember, we will be back on the air tomorrow night with a audio broadcast of the girls hockey game down at the Xcel Energy Center, where they will face Rochester Lords in the first game of the tournament. We will be right back here on Thursday night when the boys basketball team will have their final broadcast here at home against Greenway. Which will be a pivotal game after the loss tonight, with Greenway only being about 0.3 of a point behind in the QRF and for rankings. So we'll see you then. Again, from myself, Todd, and all of our students, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.